Welcome back, everyone! AEW WrestleDream 2025 just wrapped up at a wild Chaifetz Arena in St. Louis, and what a night it was. The energy was off the charts, and the card delivered from start to finish. The main event, Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley in an I Quit match, was as brutal and emotional as wrestling gets. But that was just one highlight in a night packed with championship clashes, high stakes, and jaw-dropping surprises. We're breaking down every match, every result, and the moments you need to see. Let's dive into the action from St. Louis. The I Quit match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley was pure chaos from the start. Moxley tried to dominate with his size and brawling, but Darby's resilience was unreal. He just kept coming back no matter how much punishment he took. The fight spilled everywhere. Up the ramp, through the crowd, and every weapon imaginable came into play. Chairs, kendo sticks, thumbtacks, even Darby's barbed wire skateboard. Darby hit a coffin drop from a lighting rig through a table, leaving the crowd stunned. The emotion was raw. You could feel the hatred and a strange respect between them. The climax. Moxley locked in a bulldog choke, demanding Darby quit. Darby refused, nearly passing out. In a shocking twist, Moxley let go, grabbed the mic, and said, "I quit," unable to break Darby's spirit. Darby Allin wins, but both men left everything in the ring. It was a brutal, unforgettable war. One that will be talked about for years. This is what wrestling is all about. Heart, pain, and the will to never give up. What a match. The AEW World Championship match saw Hangman Adam Page defend against Samoa Joe, a true clash of styles. Hangman came out swinging, using speed and high-flying offense to keep Joe off balance. But Joe's power and ring IQ took over, as he targeted Hangman's midsection and legs, grinding him down. Hangman fought back with a moonsault and nearly hit the Deadeye, but Joe countered at every turn. The crowd was electric as Hangman landed a buckshot lariat, but Joe kicked out at 2.5. Hangman tried again, but Joe caught him midair and locked in the coquina clutch. Hangman fought, but the hold was too much. He passed out, never tapping. Samoa Joe is your new AEW World Champion, winning by sheer dominance. Hangman gave everything, but Joe's power and strategy were just too much. A new era begins with Samoa Joe on top. What a statement win. The world title picture just got shaken up. AEW Women's World Championship. Kris Statlander versus timeless Toni Storm. Kris brought the power, Toni brought the drama, and the contrast was electric. Toni's antics and Luther's distractions gave her an opening to target Kris's injured knee. Kris fought valiantly even on one leg, landing huge power moves and nearly retaining. Orange Cassidy neutralized Luther, but Toni's cunning took over. As Kris went for her finisher, her knee buckled. Toni seized the moment, thumbed the eye, and hit Storm 0. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm is the new AEW Women's World Champion. Heartbreak for Kris, but Toni played the game perfectly. The crowd was stunned, and the women's division has a new queen. This rivalry is far from over. Toni Storm's era begins. Expect fireworks. What a match. TNT Championship, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. Mark's journey to this moment was emotional, and the crowd was all in for him. Fletcher used his athleticism and arrogance, but Mark's heart and wild offense kept him in the fight. The action was fast and hard-hitting, with Mark surviving Fletcher's biggest moves. Mark nearly won with the froggy bow, but Fletcher got his knees up and rolled Mark up, grabbing the tights for a cheap win. Kyle Fletcher retains, stealing victory from a valiant Briscoe. The crowd was gutted, but Mark's spirit shone through. This feud is far from over. Mark Briscoe proved he belongs on the big stage. Fletcher escapes with the title, but not the respect. What a battle. $500,000 on the line. The Young Bucks vs. Jurassic Express. The Bucks isolated Jack Perry, keeping Luchasaurus out and dominating early. Hot tag to Luchasaurus turned the tide, but chaos erupted with all four men trading huge moves. The ref went down, and Nick Jackson slid a title belt into the ring. Jack Perry intercepted it, hesitated, then shockingly blasted Luchasaurus with the belt. The arena was stunned. Jack Perry betrayed his partner. He dragged Nick onto Luchasaurus, woke the ref, and the Bucks got the win. The Young Bucks take the money, but the real story is Jack Perry's shocking turn. Jurassic Express is shattered. The crowd was speechless. This betrayal will have massive consequences. The Bucks celebrate, but the wrestling world is reeling. Unforgettable. AEW World Tag Team Championship. Brody King and Vikingo versus Takeshita and Okada. Okada and Takeshita isolated Vikingo, using quick tags and precision to wear him down. Vikingo's lucha skills got Brody in, and the big man unleashed chaos, tossing both challengers around. Brodito hit wild tandem offense, but Okada and Takeshita's chemistry was undeniable. The match broke down into a wild brawl, with all four men leaving it all in the ring. The finish. Okada drop-kicked Brody out, leaving Vikingo alone. Takeshita hit a German suplex. Okada followed with a rainmaker, no escape. 1, 2, 3. New AEW Tag Team Champions, Takeshita and Okada. A new era begins for the tag division. Brodito fought valiantly, but the super team was too much. Tag team wrestling at its finest. What a showdown. Lines. 13. TBS Championship Open Challenge, Mercedes Moné vs. Sarray. The arena buzzed as Sarray answered the call, making her AEW debut to a huge ovation. Sarray brought stiff strikes and relentless offense, surprising Mercedes early. Mercedes weathered the storm, targeting Sarray's arm and setting up for the bank statement. The match was a technical showcase, with both women countering and trading submissions. Sarray nearly won with a huge urinage, but Mercedes refused to quit. The finish, Sarray went for the Muda lock, but Mercedes reversed into the bank statement. Sarray fought, but had to tap. Mercedes Moné retains. Sarray's debut was incredible, but the CEO stands tall. The TBS title scene just got a lot more interesting. Respect shown after the bell. What a debut, what a match. The women's division is on fire. Jamie Hayter returned to face Thekla in a hard-hitting grudge match. Thekla's venomous style and mind games gave her an early edge, but Hayter's power was the difference. The action was stiff and physical, with both women trading big shots. Thekla tried a high-risk move, but Hayter countered with a massive superplex. That set up the finish. Hayter hit the Haterade lariat, nearly taking Thekla's head off. 3 count. Jamie Hayter wins decisively in her return. The crowd erupted for Hayter's comeback. Thekla proved tough, but Hayter's dominance was clear. The women's division just got a lot more dangerous. Welcome back, Jamie. Tornado Trios match, Hurt Syndicate. Wardlow, Action Andretti, Matt Hardy, versus The Demand, Jay White, Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn. Pure chaos from the start. No tags, just 6 men brawling everywhere. Wardlow and Jay White's rivalry exploded, while Andretti's high-flying wowed the crowd. The Demand used numbers to isolate Hardy, but Wardlow's power turned the tide with a powerbomb symphony. The finish, Juice hit Hardy with a low blow. Jay White followed with the Blade Runner on a steel chair. The Demand stole the win in a wild, violent brawl. Hurt Syndicate fought hard, but the numbers and dirty tactics won out. Wardlow looked unstoppable, but the odds were too much. The Demand stands tall, but this war is far from over. Trios chaos at its best. What a fight. Lines. 12. FTR vs. Jet Speed, Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. A tag team clinic with controversy. FTR's old-school tactics clashed with Jet Speed's high-flying offense. Bailey's hot tag turned the tide, but FTR's experience kept them in it. The finish, Dax accidentally hit Knight with the title belt after a shove from Cash. Cash rolled Knight over and FTR stole the win. Dax looked conflicted, not happy with how it ended. FTR gets the victory, but at what cost? Jet Speed proved they belong with the best. The tag division is heating up. Expect fallout from this controversial finish. Tag wrestling drama at its finest. AEW WrestleDream 2025. What a night. Championships changed hands, betrayals shocked us, and new stars emerged. The energy in St. Louis was unforgettable. What was your match of the night? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more AEW content. This was a historic show, and we're just getting started. Until next time, take it easy.